GLive.
Hello. Hello. Welcome back to GLive. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy Wednesday, Willow. How are you?
Happy Wednesday. We're good. We're doing well. How about you, Dwayne?
I am hungry. Kasi
Yeah,
hindi pa
that's
ako
true.
kumakain. Pero I'll eat after this kasi mamaya na. Pero yun. And then, ang bilis lang ng panahon. Wednesday na. It's May 18th. Next week is All Aboard XP
All
again.
award na.
Really
That's
excited
true.
about that. And
True, true, true,
tonight
true,
we're
true.
going to try something new, something that we have talked about before. And actually, we were brainstorming for a title for the show. We haven't nailed the title of the show. Pero later on, we'll discuss what's happening. But first, hi everyone. I hope you're having a good
Woo!
Wednesday. If you're in the chat already, please say hi, hello, because we love to shout out people. And kung meron kayong because there are a lot of new groups, board game communities, new content creators. Just post below and we will shout out
Yeah.
if you are in the chat. Next is, if you are in the stream right now, please do yourselves a favor and share this stream to your friends, your family. Why you a favor? Kasi the more people that you invite in the board gaming hobby, the more people you can play with. Ganun lang
That's
yun.
true.
Diba? That's
True, true, true.
why Will and I are really excited to have these shows, to organize board gaming events kasi we just want to get more people playing. Come on. And
Yeah.
we are currently live on Facebook. So if you're in Facebook, share the stream. May small little share stream button lang.
Share
Try it.
stream.
Share. And
Yeah.
then if you're watching on YouTube, uh we just click like and subscribe. Hit that notification button so that you can get awesome content from you boys. Will and
Yeah.
Dwayne.
Yeah.
Yes.
So tonight we're gonna be talking about size and ranking factions. So sabi namin
Ooh.
kasi we were before the stream we were talking if we should rank something na. And I think it's hard to rank mamas and papas of viticulture.
Mhm.
So we'll start with size, which is a
Or
game na
rank yung mga visitors, summer visitors.
lahat. Yeah, so
Ah,
for now we'll start with Scythe, which is Dwayne's favorite game. I think
it's
it
my
still is.
favorite
Yeah.
game.
I'm kind of like you can consider me a beginner in Scythe. So for those who have not played Scythe yet, it's also nice to hear it now, so you get to learn about the game before you play it. Para pag
Yes.
sinabi sa inyo na, oh, pili na lang kayo ng faction. Sabi mo, I don't know but Dwayne said ito yung pinakamalakas. Yan.
Well, this show comes with a lot of caveats kasi I truly believe na the factions, they have their strengths and weaknesses. And if you get a lower rank, a lower tier faction, hindi naman ibig sabihin na you're gonna lose the game all the time, every time. It's still up to you how you, kasi there's a lot of decisions that you will make in Scythe. So, yan, ang preface.
Yeah.
And then next thing is, if there's a person na parang kinuha niya yung top tier faction, it doesn't mean that he or she will win all the time. So
it does not. It's
still
still
up to you.
Yeah, it's still up to the strategy that you're gonna implement into the
Correct.
but there are just meta strategies I think inside that are easy to implement, easier to do than the others. Pero very little minimal ano lang. So let's just talk about those later. So if you're in chat, say hi, say hello, say hi to your friends, your friends. We do have a question of the stream. So if you haven't played yet, yung question of the stream mo is, what do you guys want to name the show? A ranking, GLive ranking, whatever. We were thinking about ladder up or like rankings or something. Let us know. But if you do know how to play Scythe, please let us know your favorite Scythe faction to play. Let us know if you had success with a certain faction in winning the game. So, yun yung GL question of the streams natin. Questions of the stream.
Ang
Galit
daming
yung extra.
questions.
Yeah.
So many questions. I need an answer.
There you go.
2 years later, you're still in my mind. Wow. Mandy Moore ba yun? Anyway, let's check out the people who are commenting now in the chat.
Michael says, hello, haven't tried Scythe yet. Okay, so the question of the stream for you is, let us know what's a nice title for the show. We like adding shows into the variety Wednesday. So let us know. Hello, welcome to the stream. Also, Abby.
Hello,
Sabi niya,
Abby.
I want to play. Yeah,
Yes.
gusto maglaro ng Scythe.
Let's
Pinag-usapan pa
play
lang.
sa All Aboard.
But Abby playing Scythe, answering the GL question, sabi niya, Roosevelt, Tesla, and Fenris. Those are the two ones in the Rise of Fenris, right? Tesla and Fenris. Yeah. Cool. And Michael says, I know when Eman defeated Abby in Scythe, sabi ni Abby, pangat ang Scythe. Kaya ang technique para magustuhan ng partner mo ang game, let her win first. That's true. Yeah. That's how you do it. The techniques. Araceli, welcome to the stream. Good evening.
Hello, welcome to the stream.
Joining us. Sabi ni Abigail, hindi na daw nananalo si Eman ngayon. Yan.
Ay, ganun talaga.
Ganun lang. First defeat, then natutunan ni Abby.
You just have to get good. Or, honestly, Scythe is a game na once you get the hang of it, you'll explore a lot of parang, pwede pala tong ganito. There's a lot of things. I mean, in a lot of games rin naman.
Yeah. Sabi ni Michael, si Papa Gary daw. I think, malakas si Papa Gary sa Vitic. Tapos meron din siya militants daw. Tapestry pala yun.
That's also one of our options, pero masyadong madami yung tapestry civilizations. Pero if this is successful, this show is successful, we can check out other games and then rank yung mga factions, especially the asymmetric games.
Yeah.
So,
excited ako. I'll rank unmatched also for the people who like unmatched.
Yes.
But
so
in my view.
and this one is it's just our view. You can also comment below in the chat kung parang
if
you agree, you disagree. Parang, what? Rank
You're
B
wrong.
itong favorite faction ko? That's preposterous.
Sabi ni Sam, Scythe ambivalent. Pero sige.
Ambivalent.
What does ambivalent mean?
Ano yun? Parang amphibian. Parang meh. Ganyan. Ambivalent.
Pero sige daw, yung may bear. Kasi may bear.
Bear!
May si Sam. Sam, have you played Scythe before? I wanna know. If you've played it or you're like steering away from it. Yeah. Para malaman lang natin. David says Polania. Isn't Polania like the
Polonia is the one with the
Polonia
bear.
Oh, it's the one with the bear. Oh, cool. There you go. Sabi rin ni Abby, love Polania as well. Sabi rin naman ni Mark Ace is Roosevelt plus the mechanical strat. Ooh, madami na strats na lumalabas. And sabi ni Michael, hey, Willow, turuan mo kami ni K-Ann ng unmatched next all board. You know what? I'm down. I'm gonna be bringing all my unmatched boards kasi
nice.
Like, kinwento ko nung Snow Monday, I have friends who are like getting addicted to unmatched. Sinundo nila ako dito to get unmatched and then we played in Starbucks. I think nakita nga ako ni Ivan. Shoutout kay Ivan. Nag-chat siya sa akin, hey Willow, are you in Starbucks playing unmatched?
Saan Starbucks?
In Capital Commons. Estancia. Yeah. Bigla lang. sobrang biglaan lang kasi they really wanted to play. So yeah, I'm down to teach you guys. And soon we'll have something. We'll have an activity for that sa All Aboard. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So please do keep commenting. For those who have played Scythe, let us know your favorite faction. For those who don't really know a bunch of Scythe stuff, or if you just want to share your thoughts, please let us know a nice title for this new variety show, which is our ranking show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sige, go ahead.
Sabi ni Sam, yes, I've played Scythe pero not my game. Di talaga ako partial sa area control. Yeah. I mean,
It's
it's not for
okay.
everyone. Yeah. And John Denver says, hello, welcome to the stream. Sabi niya, hello, Polanya strongest for me. Pero fave ko, Roosevelt.
Ooh.
And Abigail also wants to try Unmatched. Alright, sure.
Yes.
On the next Solo board, just approach me. We're gonna be playing a lot of Unmatched, I think. So, oh, Huxley, welcome to the stream. I remember meeting you in All Aboard BGC. Welcome to the stream. Let us know what's your
Hello.
favorite Scythe faction is. Kasi sabi mo na excited to see the topic because Scythe is my favorite game. Yan. We should also have like
Yes.
that's. I think Scythe should be like your gym game, your Master Dwayne game.
What?
Para kasi di ba, if you guys
Yung
don't know,
ano.
yeah, the championship gauntlet or something, champions gauntlet, gym badge, all aboard gym badge. We're gonna do that soon. You're gonna have to defeat. Sige, you're gonna have to defeat me maybe in like on match or something. See, Mr. Star would be what's his game?
Millennium Blades
Millennium Blades or no, just corridor, and then see
or
Dwayne. You'll have
Fantasy
to be
Realms.
in Scythe, yeah. So we'll have those soon. We'll announce those, yeah. But yeah, sabi ni Abigail, love how Polanya can move to and from lakes.
Yes. Yeah, so the reason why we're ranking is not really just to rank, but we want to check out we want to explore the rules of the game and then make a deep dive. Wow, deep dive
Yeah.
kasi Polonia can dive into lakes. Check out the strategies involved in the game. And again, this is just opinions from two big fans. Big fans. It is not what do you call that? It's very subjective.
Very, very
And
subjective.
and we can also look at yung art because the art is amazing. Like you
Yeah.
can have a faction dahil ang cute ng bear, which I'm like, I agree, ang cute ng bear. So we're just hanging out, having
Yeah.
fun,
Let's
talking
just talk
about
about Scythe.
my favorite game, Scythe.
There you go.
So for those who haven't played Scythe or not familiar with Scythe, Scythe is a game by Jamie Stagmeyer and Stonemeyer Games. The art and world building is by Jakub Rosalski. It's amazing. It is basically an engine building game. It's asymmetric. That's why meron tayong different factions. It's competitive, so you're fighting each other. And it's set in an alternate history, 1920s, wherein you have mechs. Like you mix European history plus steampunk, mechanical, hindi siya kaiju. What do you mean the
Pacific Rim
the
robots.
Pacific Rim robots level of game? So parang ako, that is amazing. So that's Scythe. Yan ang ganda ng Scythe. Dear. This game
It is really beautiful, yeah. Like the whole
it is
production.
really
and
beautiful kasi the production value is amazing. You have mechs, you have the faction leaders. Those are the mechs, the different factions. So the production value of this game is really top notch, and the strategy in the game is really amazing.
Yeah.
Kasi it's asymmetric. Each faction have their different powers and strengths and weaknesses, and they all have different mechs. And I've seen some na they have metal mechs, so ang ganda.
Yeah.
Just a big fan. Okay, so how do we do this, Willow? How do we rank?
Yeah. So the way we're gonna do this is actually people have been doing this a while. So if we searched in tier maker, they do have a tier maker for it, which is nice.
Ooh.
So we do have a
Gawa
S
na
A
siya.
B C D. These are the ranks. Today we're gonna have it until here. We're not gonna do the
We're not gonna
Fenris.
do Fenris and Tesla
And
because
Tesla,
they're spoilery.
I'm sorry for spoiling you guys, but yeah, na yung ano. But just the seven basic
So we
without the
have-
campaign factions.
Yeah. So we have the 5 that is from the base game, and then we have 2 which is the Togawa and the Albion. So 7.
Yeah.
We're just gonna do 7. Easy peasy lemonade.
Yeah,
Lemonade.
Lemonade. We'll just do 7. While we're gonna be talking about what the factions, what they do, and I'll be showing you guys photos of that certain faction, also the leader, the mechs and everything. So if you think you're gonna get lost, you're not gonna get lost. Dwayne will be talking about most of it, so don't worry
I will
about
try my
the
best to guide everyone and give my expert opinion.
expert opinion. Okay. I'll be explaining what the faction does dun sa ibang parts. I'll read through from Stonemaier mismo, and then Dwayne will be like ganito yung pwede niya kasing gawin, the strategy and the ganyan. It's
Yes,
paired
yes.
with a certain blah blah. Yeah. So we'll do that. But first, let's check out what people are saying. Sabi ni Sam, yes, spread the word of Unmatched. I am spreading it as much as I can. Nag-favorite game
Unmatched.
talaga namin currently. Sam also said site tournament na go. I mean, we're down. I think we can do that. Jeb said haven't tried it pero looking forward sa all aboard para makalaro din unfamiliar sa game. Yeah, we'll see you then there then. Just approach us if you want to play a certain game. We'll try to get you a seat on a match table or unmatched table or a scythe table, whatever table you want to play. You'll meet people to play with. Huxley said, strongest is debatable between Rus, Viet, and Crimea. So strong that Jamie eventually banned one player mat for each of those factions. A combination already. Sam also said the exception ko sa area control is small world. Rank natin small world races. That's a lot.
And
I think that's
small
a lot.
world kasi you mix and match yung race plus yung power.
That's
So,
a lot.
pero we'll see.
Mark A says, sana magkaroon ng animated series or movie within About Scythe. I mean, I'm down to watch that. It's a really nice world. If they could make it a like somewhat like what's Arcane or ano, even yung art style, I'd love to watch that. But oh yeah, there you go. You said it. There's a video game titled Iron Harvest. Yeah, it's on Steam, I think. Which is the world of Scythe. RTS Shadow. So, real-time strategy game. If you guys want to check those out, if mahilig kayo sa video games and board games like me, you can look at that. Michael naman said, actually, nasa cart ko na yung site last week when I purchased a couple of games from Stonemaier Games. Kaya lang natakot ako na makita ko yung rulebook, especially yung rulebook na binibenta mismo. You know what? Site is not that difficult.
It's not that difficult.
It's really just a couple of actions, but when teaching kasi you'd want everyone to know all the actions and all the things that could happen so that when they decide dun sa pinaka basic na actions that they're gonna be doing, parang from the start they already know. It's not that hard, honestly.
It is not that hard. Plus, I can teach.
Yeah, there you go. Sabi ni Huxley, factions from IFA are more or less the hardest to play since they're kind of locked into a specific playstyle to win with them. Yon. That's true.
IFA is Invaders from Afar. It's an expansion.
Yeah. David said Wood did not know na may 2 factions pa pala sa Fenris. Well, spoilers.
Oh my god, I'm spoiler. Well, yeah.
I mean, it's out there. If you search about Scythe factions, if you're into Scythe like that, eventually you'll find it.
There's still a lot more in Fenris. This is just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah. Sabi naman ni Abigail, I love the factions from Invaders from Afar. Though since they can already move at the inside of the map, and that's a lot of land to move on compared to the default factions, which you need at least one mech to move across the rivers. Yeah. Madami na tayong and sabi ni Gino na lang fave faction ni Justin Timberlake, Crimea, kasi daw Crimea River.
Crimea River.
Okay.
Crimea
There you go.
River.
I think we can start
start.
our rank.
Tier.
What are we gonna start with?
I mean, yun dun sa pinaka.
Okay, sige, let's check the tier maker. It says to start with Gunter and Gunther and what's his name?
Yung 2 wolves, si
Nacht and Tag.
Nacht and Tag.
Yes, from the Saxony Empire. Okay. There you go. Do you guys want to hear the story of Saxony? I can read it.
Yes, story time,
Okay.
story time.
I'll read the stories for each, I guess. Uh, Gunther. I'll call him the Gunther. Gunther ba Gunther? Gunther
Gunther.
naman. Gunther grew up in a wealthy aristocratic family known for the dire wolves they bred and sold across the country. As a young boy, he traveled with his father across Africa, where he developed excellent hunting skills and an interest in archaeology. Let me show pala the ano, no?
Ooh.
Hindi ko pala napapakita. Para may photo kayo that you while I'm reading it. Here you go. Gunther is this one. Yeah, the Gunther. We're talking about Gunther. With a strong love for his country, Gunther enlisted in the Saxon army. He spent the few years of service training soldiers to work with direwolves, where he formed a kinship with two particular wolves, Nacht and Tag, which is night and day. Kaya, if you actually see painted pictures or photos nung ano, it's the black and the white wolves. Yeah. When the war began, Gunther and his wolves led elite mech squads across the forests and mountains of Saxony and Europe. His name was both feared and respected, and his jacket grew heavy with medals of honor. After the war, the Saxon Empire sought an audience with Gunther, Nack, and Tag. He asked them to go on a special mission to the east, where he saw an opportunity to expand to to the unclaimed land surrounding the factory. Gunther was never one to turn down adventure, so off he went to the east. So that's his story for joining the battle in Scythe. But let's hear more about Gunther and how it plays with Dwayne.
Okay. So, um, I, Gunther, and Saxony, they are the most aggressive of all factions. Kasi, again, the factions are asymmetric. They have different powers. The power for wait lang, where is that weird rule book? Kasi nandun lahat. So that we will not. So in the game ends when you complete 6 objectives or 6 stars, and then for normal factions, you can only win at least two. You can only get 2 stars from winning battles. However, for Saxony, they can win unlimited number of stars with
Yeah.
any battle. So parang so the way I'm looking at Saxony more on war. It's fighting. And then this faction also is the most that is luck dependent for my I feel that it's more luck dependent because aside from you can complete multiple objectives via war or fighting, you can also do multiple objectives sa objective cards. So it could be and in ang dami ko palang in-skip. I need to discuss a lot of things before I can discuss the game. Pero sige, I'll slow down. So in the game, you have objective cards. And then if you complete objective cards, you can get a star that helps you win the game or end the game. Most of the time, except for Saxony, you can only complete 1 out of the 2 objective cards that you have. In Saxony, you can complete both
Yeah.
objective cards. So that is so cool kasi the objective cards, most of the time, it just needs like you need to control certain areas, you need to have a certain number of resources. So if at the end of your turn, you're able to do them, then good job, nagawa mo na siya. But there are also more difficult objectives like there's an objective that you need 20 coins, and coins in this game is a bit hard to get kasi basta they're just hard to get. So that's hard. And then there are objectives that you need to get popularity, and since you are going to war most of the time as Saxony, it's hard for you to be popular because you're a war person.
Yeah.
Wait lang. So where do I put Where do we
Sige,
put
let's check where you're
Saxony?
gonna be putting Saxony. For me, I just want to share that from a point of view of a non scythe expert. Saxony
Revenge.
is when you get Saxony, you really just wanna fight. As in War Freak nga, sabi nga ni Abigail, you wanna go and try to. Ako when I use it, if able with my other board, if able to just keep getting the stars, keep dapat mauna ka with those stars kasi you're not gonna be popular. You're gonna end up being in the low ano. So before people get into the high popularity contest, the ano, you want to end the game before that. Parang ganun yung ano ko. So being Saxony, they're scared of you actually dun sa board. Also kasi nga anytime you can attack kasi you'd want to attack.
Oh yeah.
But that's how I see Saxony.
I forgot to mention, Saxony has the power that if you're on a mine location, you get they get plus power. So parang there are vulnerable areas, the tunnel areas where a lot of people need to go through. They could just stay there and then fight whoever they can fight. So that's
Yeah.
like a little bit scary. Pero I don't know. Ikaw, Willow, where will you put Saxony? Ako, I
Actually,
think
when I do get Saxony, I do like it kasi there's like as medyo
mas fighty fight talaga.
mas fighty siya na ano, and not all factions want to fight, which is nice kasi at least hindi kalaban mo for your like strategy. I would put him as a B tier just because there's one that's I know that's gonna be higher, 2 or 3 higher. So medyo nasa gitna siya for me. At least I do have a baseline. But for you, how about you?
Yeah, I agree. I will also do a B for Saxony. Partly because when I'm playing Saxony, there's already para siyang if you are playing Seven Wonders, it feels like Rhodos. Because everyone knows that you will attack. And then but there are also ways to play Saxony na you can condition the table. You can say, hey table, I'm not gonna attack you and I'm just gonna do my own thing. Tapos biglang surprise, I will just attack 2 or 3 other factions and then complete an objective. And so parang you can get 3 stars in one go, 3 or 4 stars in one go. Surprise, the game ends, you win.
That's a good strat. Yeah.
That's I think that's a strategy for Saxony because in the game of Scythe, whenever you go fighting, you will lose power. I mean, you lose parang win or lose, you lose the resources that you allocate into the fight. So it's not as advantageous to just fight and fight because the crackback or parang, for example, you fight a faction, another faction can swoop in and attack you. Parang revenge, I'll get my revenge. So you can just do one big swing with Saxony and you can just end the game.
Yeah, there you go. So I think we do agree na nasa B tier siya. Let's read a couple of comments that people are saying. Sabi ni Abigail, there are times that when you can't win just by having all or a lot of stars. I think popularity is a must as well. It helps you increase the chances of winning. It does. The multiplier for popularity, just being the multiplier, is a really strong ano. Kaya I think there's 1 or 2 that I really like better than Saxony because here you're parang your strategy is to kind of lose a little bit of popularity, which I don't like. I don't like losing popularity. I want to be popular. I want to win.
Have you maxed out your popularity in a game?
I have. That's always my goal actually. In anything I do, I want to be popular.
No, in Scythe, have you?
Yeah, Insight. Insight. I think hindi pala na max out. It's just really high to the point na umabot ako dun sa top tier nung multiplayer.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pero not max.
It's hard
max
to be popular in Scythe.
Max is hard, yeah.
I only done that once kasi yun lang talaga yung goal ko in the game. Oh, by the way, uh, pro tip, if you have played Scythe a lot of times already, you can feel free to do your own win objectives. And for in one game, I said, ang goal ko lang in this game is to reach max popularity.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I felt good kasi parang, yay, nagawa ko
You
siya.
did it.
I did it.
David said B tier daw for him yung Saxony. Okay, so we'll put it there. Sabi ni Huxley, fun strategy for Saxony, keep attacking and then intentionally lose just to force opponents to spend power. Then come back
True.
swimming much harder to get your start. There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Pwede ka
So parang
mag-bait lang, mag 0-0 power ka.
intentional. You
Yeah.
baited.
Yeah. B as well daw for Abby. Sabi niya, I always focus on popularity. That's nice. And sabi ni Mikey, sobrang controversial clickbait episode title. Yeah, you know how titles work. We're talking about it though.
Ano ba nilagay
Uh,
mo sa title?
no, I just put GLive rank SCYTHE Factions. It's
Ah?
clickbaity.
Ah,
We're talking about it.
Well, okay.
Abigail also said that she has maxed once. Yeah.
Yes.
So nice. Cool.
But if you have only joined the show tonight, we are talking about Scythe and the factions. We are ranking the tiers. Very subjective opinions from big fans. So we just want to check out the factions. And again, we preface it na even if you get a lower tier faction, there's still a lot of strategy involved. So parang it's really up to you. You can win or lose even whatever faction you use as. Okay.
I think
So
the
we're
next
happy with
faction.
B.
I think we're happy with Saxony at B. The next one we're gonna be talking about is Zera and Car from
Ooh.
Crimea. Kasi yun yung next na. So we're talking about this one.
Crimea
Horse.
River.
Horsey. I shall read the story while you guys check out this beautiful art. Yan. There you go. Hopefully you guys see it. Here's the story for Zera and Kar from Crimea. Princess Zera was the firstborn daughter of the Khan of the Crimean Tatars. Despite her royal upbringing and against the will of her father, Zera preferred to practice bow shooting and horseback riding rather than meekly drinking tea with dignitaries. She found that she was able to see things before they happened, a skill that greatly
Ooh.
aided her archery skills, especially for moving targets. When Zera turned 16, her father gave her a great step eagle for her birthday. Much to Zera's surprise, she found that she could see through the eagle's eyes. Ooh, Assassin's Creed. And she had the sense of the eagle could see through hers. Zera named her Kar. Zera traveled the land with Kar representing her family's interests and serving the people. Tales of bravery were spread far and wide by Crimean caravans and traders. Steeped in the tradition and culture of their people, Zera's father was reluctant to adapt the new mech technologies developed by the factory. However, he realized that the world was changing whether or not he liked it, and he didn't want his country to fall too far behind. So he asked Zera and Kar to go on an expedition to the north for the purpose of learning modern technology and ensuring peace for the people. Thus, she enters Scythe. Cool.
Yes. Zera and Kar. She's the one with the eagle. And she's a very what they call that? Katniss Everdeen
True.
na Katniss Everdeen archetype or Merida from Brave archery.
Yeah. Royal
Royal archery.
wanted to fight, not the basic
And-
princess. Yeah.
And I'm like, you go, girl. Pero yes, now, dapat meron rin pala tayong tier rankings for the the animals.
They're
Wait lang,
all
so si
S
Tag
tier.
and Nact are wolves. They're super cute. White wolf at saka black wolf. And then this one is a hawk or an eagle.
Step Eagle. Yeah.
Step eagle.
Yeah.
Step 1, step eagle.
Eagle. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So this is
maganda.
their mechs and their very cool.
Okay. Now for Crimea.
What is the power of Crimea? What's their
Okay.
their style like?
So for Crimea, the very important skill that Crimea has is um, coercion, which is once per turn you may spend one combat card as if it was any one resource. So resource in this game is
Mm,
very tight, and if you can use combat card, which is something that you can just get, uh, parang for me it's easy to get. You can really speed up your gameplay because if you have more resources, you can do more things. You can it's just you can just snowball with Crimea. On top of that, Crimea also has Scout, which
yeah.
is before you engage in combat, you steal one of your opponent's combat cards at random and add it to your hand. You may do this once per combat, not once per unit. That means, so parang the combat cards there are 2, 3, 4, and 5 yung value. So you have yours and then the opponent may have theirs.
Yeah.
If by some luck you get the 5 value combat card of the opponent, you can use it as your own. And that's super strong.
Super strong, yeah.
Super strong. What else? So and
Uh,
then since you are able to get combat cards, you can also it stacks with her yung the ability that you can use the combat cards as resources. So parang wow, that's super strong. And actually, I'm gonna put Crimea as my top S tier faction.
oh, what's the reason for the S tier? Just because you can use the cards for.
Yeah, kasi the scout is very strong because it's a 10 point power swing. For example, you don't have a 5 and your opponent has a 5, you get the 5. You get, and then because of that power, your opponents are not as inclined to fight you kasi they, 'di ba, they could their best combat card could be stolen from you. Next is the starting area of Crimea. It has what they call that, food, not food, is it food?
I think it's
Yes.
food to enlist.
Okay.
Yeah.
Food you can use to enlist. You can enlist your enlist, and whenever you or your neighbors enlist, you can get combat cards.
Yeah, I think that's the
Then
master
if you can
benefit.
get combat cards, you can use it as resources, so you can parang again it's just snowballs.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
and yeah,
I think I remember nga Crimea being that. Oh, nag-enlist ka. I got something.
Can I also say ang ganda ng miniature for Crimea kasi may bird and then like the
Yeah.
wings is spread. Di ko pala nasabi. Yung mech ng Saxony is like
Let me open it up.
that's also what parang there's also parang ako parang ang ganda ng mech
Ito yung
ng
sa Saxony. They look
ay,
like
kamukha niya
lunchbox.
kamukha niya si Metagross from Pokemon, which I love.
That is true. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're a Pokemon fan, that's yung Crimea mech, I don't like
It-
masyado kasi
The
it's like
three-legged wheel mech.
but I mean, it's like a tractor. So parang ako, why?
Yeah.
Pero I mean, pero the Zera and Car, ganda. Just look at
Yeah.
that,
The mini is
the-
nice. The mini is
mini.
nice. Yeah. Okay. So we shall place that on the tier that we think we will.
How about you?
Let's read the comments. Actually, for me, since annoying si Crimea, yeah, I think I remember playing against Crimea and being up there. Maybe different lang yung style ko. Kasi I do have a favorite or two favorites na ano. But I guess, yeah, if people are agreeing na S tier, let's read the comments before we place it actually. Sabi ni, let's start from Mikey. Mikey said, I was at Alter Ego kanina rethinking of rebuying Scythe na dun ko din binili before.
Rebuying.
Yeah, rebuy it. Sabi ni David also, good idea yung suggestion ni Dwayne, pwede gawing guide yung achievement sa Steam version ng Scythe.
Yes. If
Nice.
you've played a game a couple of times, you can challenge yourself and
Just
make your
push
own
for
win
it. Yeah,
conditions. Yeah.
true.
Parang it makes the game fresh, na parang you'll try other strategies, and then win or lose, you felt na parang, oh, I was
Achievement.
able to do this.
Yeah.
Like when I played Tapestry, ang goal ko talaga ay magkaroon ng four civilizations. And I'm like, even if I lose, if
Okay na.
I reach four civilization, that was like, it's memorable, and it's super fun.
Sabi ni Huxley, kind of hard to max out popularity since it takes quite a while to get, and sometimes you have to spend it to produce, kick out opponents, workers, etc. So you'll need a slow game to max it. Yeah, which is basically me in Scythe, a very slow game to reach very high popularity and spread my workers. I think that's why my favorite ako ditong my favorite ako faction. Sabi ni Abigail, Crimea is nice faction, but it's a C for me. So C's though for Abby. Huxley said, always enlist into combat cards with Crimea, always. I think if you've done that, maganda nga yung combination. Sabi ni Gino, Crimea is pretty OP with the skills and combination with enlisting. S tier for me. And David says, agree, S tier in Crimea. So I think average, a lot of people would say S. Sige, let's place it at S muna. If we think that there's gonna be a higher one than Crimea, then we'll lower it down to A. Yeah. But for now, that's it. Next one. Next faction
This one.
is
This one is
Olga,
big.
right? Olga and Changa from Rusviet. Let me just open it and show it to you guys. So Rusviet. Yeah. So Olga and Roosevelt is this red one. This one. Yan. So very nice. It's a tiger and ano. And let me quickly bring up the art so I can read the story. Yan. There you go. Okay. Quickly, the story of Olga Romanova and Changa from Roosevelt. Olga comes from an old aristocratic family that lost their money and position a long time ago. So she was raised on humble means and in harsh climates, surrounded by simple people and nature. From childhood, Olga was taught to have great respect for the Siberian tigers that prowled the Rusviet tundra. At 15, Olga was already turning into a beautiful woman with a strong ambition and intelligence. She caught the eye of Victor, the young commander of a squadron of mechs traveling through her village on the way to war, and they began to correspond via letter. Victor surprised her by showing up on Olga's 16th birthday to present her with a Siberian tiger cub named Changa. I did not know that. He had discovered on patrol. The three of them spent the next week together and they talked of marrying. Unfortunately, the Great War began and Victor was called away to service. They continued to write, but one day Olga received word that Victor had gone missing in enemy territory.
Oh no.
She vowed to find him, so she joined the Rusviet Military Intelligence Service with Changa at her side. With her intelligence and ambition, she quickly climbed the ranks and she finally got the chance to search the western lands for her beloved Victor with the full strength of the Rusviet military at her back. Wow, that's her story. I did not know that story.
Can I
That's it,
just
man.
say, I mean, grabe, Victor giving a tiger cub as a gift.
Yeah.
Parang, Tapos
nawala siya.
Victor went missing, and then she joined the military to find Victor. That's like
the love.
grabe,
There you go.
true
So that's
love.
the story of so it makes sense why her
It
power
makes-
is like that. Because she's
Yeah.
relentless, fueled by love.
Yes, and you know what? After tonight, I think maghahanap ako ng mga fanfic.
Most probably there is.
Mga Scythe
Do you
fanfic.
think they found Victor? Maybe.
Diba? Oh my god, this is amazing. Before we dive in sa analysis of this very very controversial faction, first is Olga she could be a supermodel, no?
She does look nice. Yeah.
She is like she has looks to kill.
the jawline.
And she can also kill you as well. Next is I love yung mech ng Roosevelt.
Let me bring it up. This one. There you go. Yeah, they're the most mech,
Yeah, kasi they're upright, tapos they have like a claw thing.
and they have
So
guns.
I yeah, so my turret here, tas my claw. It's really
Yeah.
an amazing design.
Yeah.
Um, kung if the Saxony faction is like Metagross, this feels like a Scyther, no?
Scyther. Yeah, it does.
Scyther, right?
Yeah.
Really
Nice.
nice. Okay,
Okay.
so let's go with the Rusviet faction. The main reason why Rusviet I feel is very strong is because of Relentless. In
Yes.
the game, you can choose one rectangle, and then your next turn you must choose another one. However, for Rusviet, you can play the same section on your player mat uh
Again.
again and
Again and
again and
again.
again.
Yeah.
So you're not, for example, the other factions, they need one, two, three turns to move two spaces.
Yeah.
Kasi parang move, then do something else, then move again. For Roosevelt, you can just move, and move if you want to. Uh, that's number one. Next is Roosevelt has township. For the purposes of your move action, villages you control and the factory are considered adjacent to each other. So, because of this, Roosevelt has the ability to go to the center, the factory, get a lot of awesome stuff from the factory, and be miles ahead from your your competitors. And
Yeah.
then lastly is People's Army, where you have at least one worker, you may play an additional combat card. So Scythe is a very combat heavy game, and if you can use your workers as extra combatants, that's very strong.
Yeah. Yeah. I think look, sorry, just looking at this from like a non-expert scythe player. Roosevelt is one of my favorites to play because it's the easiest to play if you're new at the game.
Yes.
Um,
And it's also the easiest to control if you're parang when I play Roosevelt, parang naka-pre-plan na ang 5 to 8 turns.
yeah. Kasi you're not ano naman eh, you're I guess you're just thinking of the combinations that you want to do the top action and the bottom action in the same turn. But
Yes.
if you just really want to reach a certain space, if you just want to get your mechs out there, if you have the resources na, if you just want to produce the resources, then it's the easiest one to do kasi you don't have to think about na I have to move here first so that I can do this, so I can do this, so I can do this. Just keep doing it. That's why I think this is the first one I played also, first faction I played, and I really did like playing it. Kasi when there's too much rules sa akin, I do explode. And this one made it a little bit easier. So if it's gonna be your first time trying, I think Roosevelt is the way to go. But winning with Roosevelt, actually it depends, but it's still a really strong faction. For me, that's the newbie point of view. How about you, Dwayne?
It is a strong faction, I agree, because of the flexibility. You're
Yep.
not limited to doing you don't have to wait 2 turns to do the same action, right?
Yeah.
And then again, you can go to the center, the factory area. That's like, and
Yeah,
then
and
once
take
you
control
control
of
that
it.
area,
Yeah,
you don't leave na.
yeah,
Parang dito na. I
that's
will
true.
camp here. I will fight whoever tries to attack me, and you can just and you
Yeah.
can just be a dominant force in the game. So yeah,
For you, what's your l- tier for this?
also an S.
It was, yeah, it's an S also for me. Sabi ni Abigail Roosevelt S tier, Olga,
Olga,
lovely
Olga,
Changa.
Olga.
And sabi ni Mikey Roosevelt lore SS Roosevelt on tabletop, yoko na. Somebody Mark Ace, I learned Scythe by Steam thanks to mid-year sale. Yeah, it's easy to learn it there actually.
Yeah.
And Huxley said, Roosviet probably the most flexible with any player, Matt, because of her faction ability.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
it's the
totally
ano.
agree.
I always go first in the factory daw, sabi ni Abigail as Roosviet. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
having that control and being flexible to any player, Matt, I think it's an S tier. Okay. Whew.
yes.
Okay.
Pero again, I think Huxley mentioned it. This faction is so strong. Crimea and Roosevelt are really strong that they banned an action mat.
Yeah. Na
So
hindi pwede mag-combination with it.
yes,
Yeah.
kasi um, what happens if you have that combination of action mat and faction? You can really just run away with it. I believe it's Roosevelt and Industrial. Tapos Crimea and Agricultural. I could be wrong. Wait lang. Faction, Scythe, and
Okay. I think we're gonna go with the next one, which is Polania,
ooh,
Anna and
Polania.
Wojtek.
Oh,
I think
true.
when we last played, ito yung ginamit mo, right? For digital,
Yeah,
digital. Yeah, you
yes.
were Anna and Wojtek. Let me read quickly the story. Anna was born into a long line of intellectuals and diplomats. After her parents died in the war, she moved with her grandfather, a former soldier and avid hunter. He raised her and taught her how to shoot a gun. Over time, Anna became an expert marksman. On a hunting excursion with her grandfather, Anna discovered a mother bear who had died in a trap. Huddled next to the bear was a young bear cub. Taking pity on the animal, Anna scooped up in her arms and took him home, much to the dismay of her grandfather. So ayun niya. Anna and Wojtek, as she named the bear, quickly became inseparable. They even
Oh,
developed a form of communication using sign language. When Anna grew up, she decided to use her marksmanship to aid her country. Wojtek joined her as she enlisted in the newly formed reconnaissance troops of the Polania army. Together, they traveled across the countryside, becoming living legends as they distinguished themselves in battles and showed compassion for even the poorest farmer. When the factory shut down and rumors swirling about a growing Russian force, Anna and Wojtek accepted the mission to ensure the unity and independence of Polania by securing the eastern border and patrolling the lands around the factory. Aww. Friendship.
friendship. Tapos they can sign language. Can you
Yeah.
imagine a bear doing sign language? Oh, oh.
Nice. Yeah. So that's their story. Let me open their mech and the mini. But you can talk about what they.
Yes. First off, I love the bear. It's very ang cute. I love bears. Na parang totem animal. Whenever I play a druid in D&D, I would parang DM, can I have a bear? Uh yeah. What else? The mech is also amazing kasi it's very mech. You
It's
have
a
two
mech.
guns aside, tapos it's also bipedal. Uh, and it's
They're
nice. Like, can you imagine this fully painted? Ganda.
nice.
Okay. Now let's go with what does Bologna have in store for us? Okay. First is for the Polania's power is meander. Uh, Yes, you may pick up two options when you get an encounter card. So in the board, there are places where you can get encounters. So parang you get into a town, tapos you meet people, you draw a card. The card has three options. They will give you benefits of increasing cost and increasing benefit.
Yeah.
So for Polonia, that's very strong because you can get two
Yeah.
options. And most of the time when I play Polonia, I get one option that would pay for the better option. Gets ba? So for
Yeah.
example, one option would need this resources. Thus another option would just give straight up give me the resource. Then I use it to pay for that.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. Number two is uh, Polania has submerged. It is one of the three factions that can do that. And most of the time, since if you're not playing with the expansion, the only two factions can do that. Uh, Submerges, your character can move to and from lakes. So you can teleport via lake.
Yeah.
And that's so parang you jump into a lake, you pop up the other side of the map. And in this game, it's hard to move around because I mean thematically it makes sense because you're mech, you're
Just-
parang you have an army. It's hard to move your army from one area to another. Pero since you can submerge, you can be fast. And then lastly is you have camaraderie. You do not lose popularity when forcing an opponent's worker to retreat
Nice.
after winning a combat as aggressor. So this one is because popularity is it's hard to be popular. I think we've mentioned na parang one of the things we try to do in this game is to get more popularity because the multiplier of the points is there.
Yeah.
And this time, you don't have to worry about attacking other factions because parang I won't lose popularity. I have camaraderie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
My main weakness for Polonia is it does not have a metal area, a mountain or a metal area in the
Which you
start,
need.
which you need to get the mech. You
Yeah.
need the mech to activate the abilities. However, you do have a forest where you can get wood. Wood, you can build a mine, and then mine you can
Move
now
out.
move out of your
Yeah.
territory. Yun lang.
Just
This
a little bit more steps before you do get your
yeah.
mechs into it. But at least may cover may way pa rin. It's just a
Yes.
little bit slower. Yeah.
I mean, the first few steps of Polonia, I feel it's the same. But once you get out, parang your whole map is your oyster. You can move around, you can go to encounters, get two of them. Since you have uh, encounters and you have the benefits of the encounters, you can really push yourself forward into the game.
Yeah. It's a bit of RNG into it kasi the encounters do minsan give you what you really want, or sometimes it's something na parang I don't need this at all, or or sobra I'm not I'm not targeting this at the moment, or for that. I mean, imagine if your first encounter was metal for diba? Parang that speeds things up a bit for you. A lot pala for you.
Yeah. Uh, shall we rank this
We
or
shall
let's
rank it.
go?
Let's read what people are saying. Sabi ni Abigail Polania is an 8 tier for me. Love Anna's story flow in Iron Harvest. It's so cute.
Ooh.
Sabi ni Manny Huxley, I like Polania in general. I just hate how long it takes to deploy her mechs. There you go. And Gino
Agree.
says Polania is my fave. Watch Tech is the best bear. Based
Best
on
bear.
historic same name, who was befriended
Ooh.
by soldiers. Also, sabi
I,
niya, when I get to use Polania, I don't care much with what's happening with the other factions. Bahala sila mag-away at race to the factory. I just enjoy going around having adventures with Watchtech. Personal victory to encounter all the encounters. Yan.
yes.
And Huxley said, make or break yung encounters for Polania. You can run away with the game just by getting the right ones.
Agree.
There you
So
go.
there's still RNG in this game, and it's a great faction because you can get two options when you get encounter. Most of the
Yeah.
time you get an encounter tas you don't have the resources to pay for the awesomest option, so parang you settle for okay na ako dito sa first option, does not really give me anything, don't really need it pero might as well get it. But for Polonia you can maximize it. You can, like what Gino said, bahala sila fighting
Yeah. Just
for
get
the
all the
factory,
encounters.
just get the encounters and then you'll have fun. I agree, it is a solid A for me.
Solid A. Let's put it
Solid
at
A.
solid A. Solid A tier.
Hey,
A. Polanya is an A tier. There you go. Whew, we're halfway there. Okay. Next one, I think we're gonna check out is
let's do Nordic first before we jump
Nordic.
sa invaders from afar.
So we're doing this is Nordic, right?
Yung blue.
This is Nordic.
Yes. Albion yung green.
Okay, Nordic is Bjorn and Mox, tama ba?
Yes.
Bjorn.
Bjorn.
Okay. Oh no, this is the one you used the last time.
I can't remember.
You can't remember, right? Okay, here you go. Let's read Bjorn and Mox. Nordic Kingdom, the blue and white. Bjorn, the descendant of a renowned Viking family, grew up in a small village in the north of the Nordic Kingdom. For centuries, his tribe has bred and raised the massive musk ox seen on many farms across the Arctic. From an early age, Bjorn found that he was able to tame and communicate with the huge animals. When he was 15, Bjorn was caught in a terrible snowstorm while trying to find a young musk ox that had wandered away from the herd. He found the musk ox, but there was no hope of making their way back to the village. Much to Bjorn's surprise, the musk ox seems to understand the dire situation as it created a protective barrier to keep Bjorn safe from the blizzard. After surviving the ordeal, Bjorn took the creature as his mount and named him Mox. As an adult, Bjorn had a yearning to see the world beyond its tiny village, so he and Mox embarked on a series of adventures across the land. They served as ambassadors to the other tribes, went on war missions, and sought to find new oil reserves. Stories for their courage and heroism eventually reached the king, who was asked Bjorn and Mox to participate in a special mission to venture into the south. They seek to add new villages and farms to their kingdom by diplomacy or by force, as well as to explore the factory to give them a technological advantage in future wars. There you go. That's Bjorn and Mox.
Bjorn and Mox.
Bjorn.
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 One is, ngayon ko lang na-realize na sobrang fantastical ng the leader and the animal synergy. Like, they
Yeah.
can talk to each other. They have
They
this special
understand each other.
relationship. That's so cute. Okay. I think Mox is the biggest of all the companion animals. So that's very imposing, very impressive. The sculpt also of the mini is amazing. Just look at that. As in,
Yeah.
ang ganda ng fiber ng hair. So parang you can
Mox's
just
hair.
imagine, lalagay mo
Fur.
siya ng wash para the shad. I can imagine it na fully painted. Now for the mech, it's like it's a boat with legs. What do you feel about the mech?
I don't like the mech. I remember you complaining about this mech.
Yeah, not my favorite mech rin. I mean,
Feels
it's okay.
more like it feels more like a boat than a mech. That's the ano, or like a tank than a mech. Parang ganon.
True.
Like a vehicle than like a massive, you know.
I mean,
It's
it
not bad.
works naman. It's not bad. But not my favorite.
Not yeah.
Para feeling ko I'm partial to the bipedal mechs because it's more whimsical for me.
Yeah, true.
It
It's
gives
more
me the
Gundam
Voltes
vibes.
5, Gundam,
Yeah.
This one parang Transformer that hasn't fully transformed. Okay, let's go to Nordic's power. Nordic. Okay, Nordic workers can swim.
Yeah.
Amazing. So
Amazing.
workers may move across rivers. And this one, this is understated. Pero the thing with Nordic is you have, for other factions, you are limited with your starting areas and the resources in your starting area. If you don't have the resource that you need or you want, you're limited. But Nordic, you have the flexibility to, hey, I'm just gonna cross this river, gonna swim, and then I'm gonna get the resources that I need. That's strong. Next is seaworthy. Your characters and mechs can move to and from lakes and retreat into adjacent lakes. The strong part here is retreat into adjacent
Retreating.
lake. So normally when you go into combat and you lose, all of your units in that space would go to your home base, and sometimes that's very detrimental because you have to move again, move in order to spread your wings and conquer territories. But for Nordic, you can just retreat into an adjacent lake.
Mm-hmm.
And then, for example, there's a strategy wherein you fight. Someone will fight you. You intentionally lose. You retreat into a lake, and then you attack them back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
After
because
using the power.
after because they will use up their power, and then you still have all of your power reserves. So that's
Mm-hmm.
very very strong. The other one is artillery. Artillery. Before you engage in combat, you may pay one power to force the combating opponent to lose two power. So for a price of one, your opponent gets -2. Not my favorite power kasi that's just like a difference of one.
Yeah,
So
unless it's gonna really, if nakita mo na mababa talaga yung power ng ano mo,
yeah, unless you
nakalaban.
math it out, you compute
Yeah.
it na okay, this character can only play this amount of combat cards, and then what they call that, ito yung maximum that he can play or she can play. Then I use this power so that uh, I sure win. I get a sure win in a combat.
Yeah.
Ano pa ba? Thoughts. I feel that for Nordic, if there's no Polonia in the game or a Togawa in the game, you have full control of the lakes. So that's strong. Pero if you have a Polonia opponent, parang they can attack you in your your happy lake place. So parang I don't know. I feel that it is a B for me or C. Oh no, I don't know.
I think the early game, the swimming is strong. So I don't think it's a D. It's early game, the swimming around is strong. If you can really work around getting your workers around the board and and just capturing things, kasi sila yung hindi limited sa ano, but then again at the end game, which is where most of the things happen, yun yung wala na. So yeah, it's in the lower tier, and for me then mga C
Yeah.
siguro would be the
Para yeah, the powers on its own is so-so. And then if you have certain opponents on the board, medyo na-nerf ang powers ng Nordic. For example, if you have Apollonia, your submerge is meh. So yeah, it's I think I agree with that. It's a C
yun
for
na si
me.
RD.
D. I don't know. I mean, kung wala naman tayong C, why we're going to D? I mean, it's still doable. You can still
Yeah,
play.
it's still doable, and there's also that late game. To be honest, there's that late game strategy of just having the workers around, and then your last move being the C, and then having your popularity really high. Tapos just move them around to get the points from conquering land with your workers.
Yeah.
That's already like a max of 3 to 4 points per person in the area. So it's a decent strategy. Medyo late game nga lang siya, and you really have, it's a very situational one, but it is possible to win it that way. Yeah. Wala lang.
Ano pa ba? I'm also looking at it in ease of use as a character. I feel that Nordic is the opposite form of Roosevelt
Roosevelt,
for
it's a
me.
little bit harder.
Because your workers can swim. Yes, that's great. But if you're starting off, you're parang, ano, what
Alin?
resources?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
resources do I get? And I'm like, do I get, because you have the option of all the resources that you, and then you're like, oh, what to do? So it's a bit harder for me to finagle
Yeah.
Nordic.
True, true.
Yeah, you know what? How? Yeah, yeah. C is okay. C is right.
CC is fine, I think.
Nordic needs some buffs.
I think so then. With everyone having like pinaka, unless there's like a really good strat for it na talaga.
I'm sure. There's strat
Meron
for
meron
Nordic.
naman decent for it. But mas straightforward lang yung iba. Lalo na for like if you don't play it as much. Scythe.
Uh,
I mean, yeah.
yeah, let's leave it at that. We can move on.
Should we get into the expansions or let's leave it at that at the base game first?
Well, let's ask the audience. Pero actually, for Togawa and Albion, medyo they're in the same boat for me.
Okay, let's
That
just do that then. Yeah. Baka people have not played the base, the other factions. Sige, let's okay. Sige, let's do it. Let's do it.
sige, super
Uh,
quick lang. For for both of these characters, they lack speed.
mhm.
Speed is the other factions, they have speed. That means they can move an additional 1 hex. Uh, they can move an additional 1 hex. Albion and Togawa, I don't know, but they don't have it.
They're slower.
The slower, which is, I mean, they're slow na nga to start with. Then you need to alternate. For example, you move, then do something else, then move again. So, in order to move all the way to the factory, it would take a lot of actions. Compare it to our good friend Roosevelt that could just go to the factory in as little as 2 moves. That's like why? The pluses for these factions is they don't have rivers to stop them from moving, so they can just move and move. Okay,
Within
and
the
then
area.
I agree that they are limited to the strategy for Clan Albion and the Togawa Shogunate. It's very dependent on the tokens that they have. So for Clan Albion, you get after moving, you can exalt. After moving, you may place a flag token in your territory. The flag token you can teleport. Basically, when taking a move action, your character in mechs can move to any territory that contains at least one worker or flag. So parang it mitigates, pero yung the starting slog of moving out from your initial space, it's hard to do. Pero once you have set up your flags, you can just rally, move forward and backward. For Togawa naman, this one is like the most exciting for me because you have traps. After moving your character, you may place an armed trap on the territory, and this one, it could be like minus popularity, minus coins, minus combat card, minus power. And then you don't know if you're fighting against Togawa, you don't know what's under that, so might as well avoid that area. So you can really fortify your space. No one's gonna come in because they could just trap card activate.
Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool mechanic that they added for the invaders from afar.
As for the mechs, I love both of the
Both are
styles.
nice. Both are nice.
Uh, for Togawa, it has the rounded features. Parang that's interesting. For Albion, it has like parang it's like a gun. Uh, and then it became a mech.
A gun with legs.
A gun with legs. A rifle with legs. Now, where do we put Togawa?
I have not played a Togawa or ano, so
Really?
I have not played against or played it yet, so I don't know where to ano this. So I think this is all you and from our
Mm.
chat. So sabi ni Abigail, A tier for Albion and Togawa. Yan. I love the purpley Togawa. I don't think we're gonna
The
be
purple
talking
is
about
nice.
Fenris and Tesla.
Yeah, because
Muna.
that is
Spoilery. More spoilers.
spoilery. What they call that? The lack of movement is it's hard for me to get past. Because when I play these factions, I always find myself na parang I'm way behind in terms of spreading out. So I have to go with a B for both.
I think B is fair. Situation. Just hearing the powers from you, they're both situational powers. Lalo na yung Togawa.
The Togawa is hard because you don't have the teleport, you don't have the rally.
Yeah. Tapos yung even if you do have this new mechanic of putting traps or ano, if no one really goes there, parang useless lang din yung turn na ginawa mo.
That is the point. It's
Yeah.
really it's a deterrent. So you can
Yeah.
just like have your own little space. No one's gonna come in. Kasi if they come in, parang trap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very situational. If you do have yung timing nung this space is mine now and I'll put a trap here. And yung timing ng pagpasok ng ibang factions sa area na yun. Yun yung
other factions could be faster. Na parang before even before you set up your traps, there could be just like they're there already.
Yeah. There you go. Sabi ni Abby A, but I guess we'll put it at B. I think who is this again? Polonia is better than the two. We can put like I think this is fine. Hermea is OP. Rusviat is up there.
Again, we prefaced it naman na
our idea of the game.
This is very subjective. This is just an opinion of two people, and if you actually ngayon ko lang na appreciate fully yung stories behind the characters and you can have your own fun just because you don't need to have the strongest character or the strongest faction to have fun. And that is the main goal of this. One is we learned more about the characters, backstories, the strengths and weaknesses. Two is you can create your own fun.
Yeah. Honestly, even if nasa Sito, this is one of my favorite ones to play. Because I like setting up to get the popularity really high and then get all my people into different spaces. Tapos biglang when we're counting score na I get low in most of it. Like the stars and whatever. Pero I will get high always in capturing hexes. Kasi nga I spread them out really well. That's my ano.
For me, Togawa super fun rin. Because you get to play the parang the mind game. Parang, ooh, what is this trap? Would you like to step on this trap? We don't know. Maybe
that's a nice mechanic.
Not so bad. Not so good.
I don't like playing a Saxony. Kasi I don't like hitting. I don't like attacking people.
Me too. I don't like attacking people. I just want to do my own thing. What? No cap. But yeah. It was super fun.
But it's fun. Yeah, this is fun.
This is super fun.
We like making the tiers. Maybe we can talk about more very soon in our variety shows. But I think that's it for tonight. So Here's our tier. If I can maybe send a screenshot and post it on GLive Game Night. Let's talk more there if you do have
Yes.
anything to say about that. But thank you everyone for sharing your opinions for the factions ng site. Thank you, Huxley, Abigail, Gino was here also, Mikey, Mark Ace, Ramos, Fred was here, David, Michael, Sam. Thank you guys for dropping by the stream also. Salamat sa pag talk with us in the stream. If you do have ideas for um the show's name, let us know. And then we if you have suggestions on which tiers you wanna do, maybe small world factions. I wanna do like unmatched characters. I think I can do
Ooh,
that
that's
in a
so
week or
fun.
so because I've been playing it a lot. But yeah, let us know. I'll post this on G Live Game Night. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for talking with us and chatting with us. We'll be having our live stream on Friday. Our last, the third and last adventure
Yeah.
of the brothers for our D&D. So DM Lance will be here, still here at Facebook and YouTube 8 p.m. So I'll see you guys then. Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye. Peace.